I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome back to the Hypothetically podcast. It's Coach Gabe, Coach Above, and we're on episode 2. Let's go. We did it. We're back from last Wednesday. Right? Coach
Now
Above?
we're on
Yeah,
this
dude.
Wednesday.
I mean, it feels good. We're going to get this out, hopefully. I'm not going to be lazy. And Coach Above's going to remind me so we don't.
Yeah. And then
Slack.
I'm going to start uploading to my channel. So if you wanted to
Oh.
check that out.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to start uploading to my channel too. I'm going to be posting Valorant content. You're going to have to watch out for that because
I'm
There's
going
gonna
to be
be some
uploading
good
some
stuff.
Fortnite content. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and then the coming weeks, we're going to be uploading, a lot of content coming from both of us. And then we're going to have our joint content with this channel. So,
whoa.
you know.
Don't be telling them shit. They're not
They're not ready for it.
yeah, no. We got to keep this shit under the wraps. You feel me?
True.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it because I don't want to distract us. Last time it took us like 4 minutes to do the intro, so we just want the intro to be short. And it's gonna be the first topic is it's the big one. Honestly it's just the big one. This is how to get good at anything you do, and it's probably the title of our YouTube video. It's probably the title of our Spotify. And dude, that's a big question. That's a tough question to tackle. And it's the same one as last time. We did it. We answered it last time, so we're obviously gonna answer it this time. We're just gonna have to break it down as we go. So bear with us here. Some information may be useless. Some actually may be really, really good, and may reminisce with you, because that's what makes a good coach. It's like a good saying. When you hear a good saying, you're like, damn, that's straight facts. You know what I mean? So as long as we made some reminiscent with you, then that's the fucking goal of the video for us. So it is how to get good at anything you do. Well, gaming aspect-wise, I think the first step would be setting goals. Obviously, if you want to get good, because that's getting good at anything you do, because you want to get good at it, obviously. So it's setting goals. It's the first thing. It is the first thing. It's setting goals. So
I would like to add to that, though. Like, it's not just setting the goal. It's like you have to make sure you commit to the goal. So, like, if you were gonna say, all right, I wanna hit this I wanna hit this rank by this time, then you have to do what it takes to get to that rank in that amount of time. Because there's a lot of people out there, like a lot of people that I've talked to and I've tried to coach, who I'll give them a goal or a deadline, I would say, and they just don't end up following through. Like, I'll tell people, in Fortnite, I'll be like, okay, you want to get the champs, the point just reset, so I want you to get the champs by this time frame, and they're like, okay, and they don't do it. So that setting a goal is important, but you also have to remember that you have to follow through on the goal, because if not, then what's the point of the goal?
It's work ethic, dedication. That's what it is. So that's probably the first step, is make sure whatever you're doing, you're motivated in that subject. Because if you're playing Valorant and you freaking hate the game, I don't try to get good at the game. You're just wasting your time. Or it's the same thing with Fortnite. It's the same thing with anything. Like, if you hate the guitar now and you're still playing the guitar, like, find a different hobby. Get good at a different hobby. There's no point in playing the guitar.
Try piano.
Yeah, try piano. But yeah, setting goals. So out of motivation, because we're not going to talk about motivation. We obviously told you if you want to play, if you love something. So that could be the title. But getting good at anything you do. Obviously, the first things you do is you have to like it. So that's the first step. And then the second step would be setting the goals. So there's a lot of ways. There's tons, like the SMART goals. There's tons of ways of setting goals. But I think as long as you have a main goal and a short goal, or a long-term goal, a median goal, and a short goal, then you're just going to be fine. Because so this would be an example. So long-term goal would be, if we're talking about Fortnite and Valorant would be hitting Immortal, obviously, or placing top 50 in a Cash Cup, right? Those would be both. I mean, they're not equal. Probably top 50 in a Cash Cup would be equal to Immortal. But if you're going to set those goals, those are obviously going to be the main goals. But then you want mini goals, obviously, because you're not going to be like on track as you would, because there's no clear cut. It's no like straight path. Because there's gonna be up and downs. Obviously, you're gonna do one. You're gonna do good one tournament because you're playing really, really well and you're super confident. And then the next day, you're gonna absolutely suck for some reason. You're not gonna know why. So as long as you set, so those median goals are gonna help you for your month long grind or like a 2 month long grind, and then your short goals should be within a week or within 3 days, right? So we'll start from short goals and we'll go all the way to your main goal. So the short goal when you wake up should be. My internet just crashed during the fucking podcast. My internet just crashed during the fucking podcast. Oh, okay. Technical difficulties. My internet just freaking crashed. Way to go, Gabe. Yeah. On the day back, let's fucking go, man. Real poggers.
So basically, he was saying about setting goals, how you want to set, a long-term goal, which would be like placing top 50 in a cash cup and or making money if you really have that in mind.
Pause. We want to start from the beginning and then we'll go on. Okay, so we don't want to go back. We don't want to go backwards to beginning. So the first step would be setting your small goal. Actually, no, it would be setting your main goal, right? Yeah, it would. It'd be setting your main goal first, and then going all the way to your small goal. So we're actually wrong here, or I am. You're right. Way to go for you, dude. But it would be setting your main goal, which would be Immortal 3 or top 50 in a cash cup, and then your median goal would be something nice, something sweet, something short, not really too difficult, something that you could break within the span of a month, just so you're not making it too challenging on yourself. So maybe consistent 500 in a cash cup, or going on a winning streak in Valorant, or breaking an AIM Labs record, or breaking a Kovacs record, or hitting 90K by the end of the month on grid shot, or hitting 100K if you're good at aiming. But
or even learning how to use
nice.
utility better in Valorant or whatever.
Whatever it is, learning. And then that would probably be the long-term goal, something that you can break, but it would still be very challenging, but it pushes you. It's because you need all of them. Your main goal is your drive. It's probably your main source of motivation, because if you're immortal in Valorant, like, dude, you did it. You're in the top 1%. Like, that's fucking amazing. Like, you can officially retire. You don't have to play the game anymore if you don't want to. That's immortal right there. Because honestly, yeah, you can stop playing Valorant because you technically beat the game, is what I would classify it as. You're amongst the top 1% out of the 3 million people who play the game. So you're like rank 8,000 or 7,000 out of 3 million people, which is insane. So good job if you're immortal and you're listening to this. But yeah, same thing with top 50%. Like, I think if you're top 50% and you made it to, like, you're getting recognized by tier 2 orgs. Actually, no. Yeah, if you make it to top 100 consistently, then, like, you pretty much are, like, I would classify you as decent at Fortnite, and you can quit the game if you feel like it. But
that's at the point where you have to make the decision whether you want to go, like, you want to make it pro or you don't want to put in the hours,
Yeah, I think that's probably another step before setting goals is, are you willing to put in 1,000 more hours or 2,000 more hours to make it to pro? So there's a video I'll recommend in the description for the YouTube channel. Me and Above recently watched this video, and it's a reality check for anybody who thinks they want to go pro in something. You guys should watch the video. Links in the description. But we're going to skip that topic and setting main goals, setting median goals, and then your short goals, right? So your short goals are going to be your ones that are going to make sure that you're on the right track, but you have a better foundation for being successful. So there's a difference between a goal setter and a dreamer. Because if you saying, hey, I want to go pro, I have this client, and he's probably going to know who he is because we've talked about him a lot, and we've shamed on him a lot. But honestly, he's doing pretty good right now. Hopefully he keeps up the shit. But this guy is somewhat of a dreamer, and he's also somewhat of a goal setter. So a dreamer is somebody who says, yo, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to like, you'll have that one friend in your group who's like, yo, I'm going to be rich, guys. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything to get rich. You know what I mean? He doesn't show any work ethic to get rich. That word is hard for me. Yeah, he doesn't just
Two words.
he's just sitting there and doing nothing. He just keeps saying it and he keeps saying it. It's like I'm gonna go pro in Fortnite. It's like, dude, like you're not showing us or showing anybody that you are putting in the work for it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's a dream. That's a dreamer right there. I wouldn't call them a goal setter because they're not setting goals. They're just dreaming. But if you are a goal setter, that's what differentiates good from bad
Yeah.
players or good from bad learners is somebody who's going to wake up in the morning and set all their goals before they even start their day, right? So when you wake up, what I want you to do is I want you to set those short goals. And this is kind of crazy because you can incorporate it into your life if you really feel the need to. Um, so if you woke up today and maybe in Valorant, you want to say, "Hey, today I want to break my grid shot record by 100." That's not that hard, right? So it's pretty easy. Or, "Hey, I want to be more consistent in grid shot and put up better numbers." Or, "Hey, I want to learn a new setup on Cypher today. I'm going to watch a couple videos on it." That's a short goal that's going to get you information and make you a little bit better than you were yesterday. Because if you wake up and you're
Yeah.
not better than you were yesterday, you didn't move.
Right.
Nothing's happened. And if there
You
was this
essentially
video,
wasted the day.
you sexually wasted the day, yeah. And there's 24 hours in the day. Maybe you sleep for 6 hours. Maybe you sleep for 11. But you still have 16 to 14 hours left in your entire day to do something. 16 to 14 hours. That is a lot of hours. And a lot of people watch TV. That's 2 hours gone. A lot of people watch YouTube. That's maybe 3 hours gone. So maybe you watch a movie. That's another hour gone. So now you're down to like 7 minus 14 is it 8? 8 plus 17 is 8 plus 7 is 14, right?
I'm gonna let you figure this one out.
No, it's not. I'm retarded.
It's
I
7
just
plus
it's not.
7 is 14.
Yeah. So it's you have 7 hours left. You have 7 hours, and you probably spent that all gaming, not learning, right? So
Right. There's a difference
that's
between gaming for fun and gaming for learning. So,
yeah, 100%. So make
like,
sure that goal that you're going to set is actually going to help you by tomorrow. So in Fortnite, an example would be getting more consistent in Kovacs. So you just literally just wake up. I'm going to play Kovacs today. Wake up and say that. I'm going to play Kovacs today. You know what I mean? Or wake up and learn a new retake because that's something people forget is creative is a good tool. I don't shame people who play creative. It just shouldn't be your source of getting better. Playing the game
right.
should. But like if you want to learn a new retake, you can. You know what I mean? What's stopping you? Like equipping your arsenal with more information than your player next to you is gonna benefit you in the long run, right? So if you are so used to boxing somebody and you're playing Zone Wars, and you're so used to boxing somebody who tunnels out left, then you're honestly in a real game. If you memorize that, you build that muscle memory that you're gonna see that kid come out left, and you're just gonna box him up, and you're gonna one tap him. You're gonna get a whole refresh on mats, and you're set up to win the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And those are the turning points. That's that muscle memory that kicks in, and that comes from. So there's the two zones. This is something that you really, really should learn because I watched a video on this. It's a TED Talk. I mean, I don't even know what it is. Link to the description. I'll find the video for you guys. But there's two zones when it comes to getting good at anything you want to do. There's the learning zone and there's the performance zone. So in the learning zone, you are going to stay in there specifically to learn new things and only learn new things. So maybe today is a learning zone. So you wake up and I want to be in a learning zone today. Meaning you could happen, anything you do has a learning zone and a performance zone. So you wake up, say, hey, I want to play creative all day. That's actually not that bad if you're using the tools right. If you wake up and you say, hey, I'm gonna learn a ton of new retakes. I'm gonna practice boxing over and over and over and over again until I get it through my head. And you obviously want to take breaks. Be moderate every time. Don't like working harder is not working smarter. Like if you aim train for 6 hours, it's just not gonna help you. So aim train for 30. Aim train for like an hour tops. If you've never aim trained before, don't put that much strain on your wrist. So take it slow. 15 minutes, 30
You don't
minutes.
want to
Take a break.
Zexpro your wrist, you know?
Yeah, don't sex roll your wrist. But yeah, so that's probably. I lost my train of thought, for being completely honest.
Okay. Well, that's essentially the idea of the learning zone versus
Oh,
the
yeah, the learning zone versus the performance zone. So that is
yeah.
the learning zone, right? Is waking up and gathering information. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's Google, maybe you just want to read a book. It has nothing to do with video games at all. You want to make yourself smarter than you were yesterday, right? And then the
Right.
performance zone is where you're gonna get that results to go back to the learning zone. So the performance zone, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna play all day today, and you play a ton of games, you get a ton of games in, and then you look, maybe you've auto reviewed 2 games because auto reviewing is just a tool that everybody should use. It's a part of getting better at anything. And you use that tool and you say, hey, I kind of suck at doing this. You want to look for a common trend in your gameplay. Say, hey, I kind of miss this peak a lot on Valorant. My crosshair placement is not that good. So then tomorrow, the next day, or, you can incorporate performance and learning zone in the same day, which is what I do. You can just say, hey, I want to learn good crosshair placement. You can literally Google it. You can look it up on YouTube. It's going
Right.
to be there. And
You could also find natural markers like in Valorant. Some of the boxes, most of the boxes are the top of them are head level. So like, if you think about that, and then it's like ingrained in your memory. Eventually, you'll just start placing your crosshair. If you see a box, you'll put it at head level instantaneously. It's just that easy.
right.
You find tips like that all over the internet, even in like Fortnite, right? You don't need crosshair placement isn't as big a thing in Fortnite. So if you were gonna learn, okay, maybe I want to learn my click timing to edit faster, right? You could literally Google it. How do I get better click timing? There's probably gonna be a lot of videos about aiming and aim training because that's probably more useful for aiming and things like that rather than Fortnite because people don't really talk about click timing, but it is super important. Like if you have good click timing and you learn your ping, right? That's super helpful. So you go and Google or you look up on YouTube. You go to It's Jarian's YouTube channel and you go, "How do I get better click timing?" And then he tells you, and now your edits are suddenly faster.
So that's the tool that not a lot of people understand, and you're probably gonna hear it a lot on this podcast because I say it a lot. Um, if you didn't know, you can search up anything you want on Google. Anything you can look up the color red, for example, and it will show you something million results in 0.6 seconds, 0.7 seconds, right? So it searches up maybe like 79 million results in 0.6 seconds, which is
Right.
insane. All for the color red. So if you look up how, like we're going to do it right now, right? So I'm going to do it on my second monitor. It says how to fix a chair, right? So I want to fix a chair. Look it up. I just got, so it actually doesn't tell me how to fix a car.
Okay, I looked up red. I got 13 billion, 10 million results
There you
in
go.
1.15 seconds.
So it's essentially the same thing with if you want to learn something new, right? You literally can just Google it. If you want to become a millionaire, it's on the internet, to be completely honest. Everything is on the internet. So you shouldn't really have any problems learning new things as long as you let yourself be vulnerable to new information, which is kind of weird, but it makes perfect sense because if you look up something on Google, it's like we use YouTube for watching YouTube videos, but we don't use it for learning, or we
Right.
use the internet for looking up things we want, but we don't use it for learning. You know what I mean? You could read your favorite book via PDF instead of having to go to a library and checking it out. You can learn how to fix your chair instead of spending $400 to buy a new one. Like there's so much tools and so much access to this beautiful thing called the internet, and nobody uses it. Nobody uses it efficiently, right? That's a big problem. That is a big problem. So setting goals, like I said, we've already discussed this topic, so I'm gonna push past it and work into the mindset, which is the second part of the topic. Is that's probably falls under a mindset. Is having a learning mindset is gonna be the best mindset when it comes to getting good at anything you do, right? Is your mindset. We're gonna talk about this a lot too. Is the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. So it can be genetic, not genetic, but it can come naturally to you, or it can not come naturally to you, depending on how you're raised. So a lot of normal people are gonna have the fixed mindset off the start, and that's it's kind of how the world is surrounded these days. Everybody has fixed mindsets, and it's probably a huge problem in modern society, and just doing waking up and having a fixed mindset, and there's so much toxicity around it too
Right.
that
And a fixed mindset, by the way, is someone who like avoids challenges. They give up like super easily. So like if you're gonna go play Fortnite and this kid beats you in a PG 1v1 and you call him a loser and say you have more PR, that's you. If you call him a loser and say I have more PR than you, you're trash. That's not only you avoiding challenges, but that's you giving up. That's you feeling threatened by others' success, which is
right.
another part of being a fixed mindset person.
So there's a saying. It's people who have fragile egos will put people down to make themselves feel better. So that's the saying. People who have fragile egos will put other people's down to make themselves feel better. It's the same thing with somebody who plays Fortnite will shit talk somebody in a box fight who's either beating them or losing to them. Or, either beating them or losing to them. They're gonna shit talk them either way. And that's because you're putting them down to boost your ego, or you're putting them you honestly, that if you're losing, you're putting them down to boost your ego. If you're winning, you're putting them down to boost your ego. And that's not a growth mindset. In the long run, it's going to mess you over. It's going to mess you up pretty much. I know somebody who had a fixed mindset and he's recently transferred to a growth mindset, but that switch fucked him up. Like he realized how bad he really was, because he would always be like, I'm better than you, I'm better than this guy. And he didn't mean it. He never meant it in a rude way. He meant it realistically speaking, but he didn't know how bad he was compared to good people. He was only comparing himself to bad players. So as soon as he hit a reality check and he realized how bad he was and he hit that growth mindset, it kind of messed him up. So get into the groove now. Look it up. Do the research. I can explain it to you in further detail. We're probably going to do a whole video on it because it's a big subject. I'll probably do it on myself, or I'll probably do it on my YouTube channel. But it is probably the best tool for developing any type of new information, and having the right approach is probably what's going to help you in anything you do. Right? So that corresponds with the main topic of the video, is the growth
Yeah.
mindset.
And aside from a growth versus a fixed mindset, you also want to go into things positively, right? You don't want to go into it thinking, "Damn, I'll never be as good as this guy, but maybe I can get good." You want to be at least positive about what you can do in the game. So you could think it doesn't even have to be a game, to be honest. But if you wanted to go into a Fortnite tournament and go, "I want to place as high as Reet." Realistically, can it happen? Maybe not. But as long as you're thinking positively and thinking, "Okay, I think that if I start, you know, doing the things that all these pros do, I will be placing as high as Reed." So that's all I need to do. If you're thinking about it in a positive way, that is such a help for your goal, because when you think about it negatively, you're only ruining your own mindset and your mentality. So it's making it harder for you to do the things that'll benefit you every time you want to try and get better. It's just way more difficult because A, you're thinking, "Oh, I'm not good," or B, you're thinking, "This is stupid. I don't want to do this." You know?
Right. And that, having the growth mindset, I just realized it can probably cure a lot of things. Like, if you play a tournament in Fortnite, or you're clutching up in Valorant, and you get anxiety and you start shaking and you're getting really nervous. That actually won't happen if you have a growth mindset, and that's transferred your way of thinking. Because if you die, you're not really going to be scared. You're going to come, like, if you're playing a major tournament in Fortnite and you're like, holy shit, this is a major tournament. That's not really what you're thinking. Your way of thinking is, damn, I'm going to learn a lot from this, right? So you're actually excited to play this major tournament, and that's probably going to help your nervousness, because a lot of people get nervous. Everybody gets nervous. No way in hell you pick. Maybe you're like 40 years old and you probably don't get nervous from playing games, but everybody now, if you're in a 1v4 clutch situation and you kill 3 people, you're for sure as hell gonna be shaking, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
you're gonna look like you have fucking, what is it, Parkinson's?
yeah, I think so. But that's what it is, man. Like, everybody gets nervous in video games. It's if you're
It's natural.
it's natural, yeah. So if you never had a problem with that, don't really worry about it. But if having a growth mindset's probably it's gonna fix that problem for sure. It's just look it up, do the research, or watch the video in a week from now that I'll have
And
put out.
you also don't want to, when you're playing your tournament or you're playing your Valorant game, if you have a growth mindset, you're never gonna quit the tournament or the Valorant game midway through, right? So like, let's say you're down fucking 12-3 in Valorant, and the other team has 12, and your whole team decides to put up the FF, and you just hit F6. You don't want to give up. That's a part of having a growth mindset. You don't want to give up, not because you're you think you'll win, but because you want to try your very best every single time, right? And if you're going into a Fortnite tournament, you die off spawn 3 games because you're an inconsistent player because you suck. By the way, on my channel, I tell you how to get better at that. If you give up halfway through your tournament, you're not getting better because you're not trying your best every tournament. So if you're dying off spawn 3 games in a row, then go into your next games like, okay, I need to make up for those games, but I need to play consistently to do it. So I'll try and get these all spawn kills, and then I'll just solely play placement, rotate dead side, whatever you want to do to get as many points as possible in that game.
100%. So yeah, that I mean, yeah, the fixed versus growth mindset. Looked it up, man. It's really really OP, really really good way of thinking, and it's gonna help a lot of people who don't know about it, honestly. So a lot of people don't know about it, and yeah. Wait, what do you think we're coming up on for time here?
I'd say 25 minutes.
25 minutes, 30 minutes. All right, we gotta extend this a little bit. So we talked about the mindset. We talked about setting goals. We talked about the performance and learning zone. Honestly, I think we cut it shorter.
Yeah, I mean, we could. It'll give us more information for next week. Haha.
Yeah, 100%. And it also, I don't want to make the videos too long for people who have busy schedules. So I like these
Yeah,
short
you don't
podcasts.
want to just give them the same information repeated.
Right,
People get bored.
And we kind of did that a little bit too. So, and this was a very eventful podcast because my internet crashed midway through. So I
Yeah, if
think
you want to see Gabe's internet crash and future podcasts, you should hit subscribe. Uh,
true.
like the video.
Like the video, yeah, like the video. We need those. We need those likes up so it gets put in the YouTube algorithm so people can see our
Yeah.
shit. Like
And
that shit.
check
Like
us
this
out on
video.
TikTok, even though it's cringe.
100%, 100%. And if you're listening on Spotify, keep listening on Spotify because I appreciate it. You're the only one who's
Yeah,
listening on
we
Spotify.
we love motherfuckers on Spotify, dude.
True facts. Love you guys. But yeah, I think that's it, man. If you want future content, check out our YouTube channels. We're gonna be posting shit there. I'm definitely gonna be start because Above's already beat me to it. He's probably gonna post a second video before I post my first. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
got another video coming on the way. Actually,
Okay.
I'd tell you what it's
Exclusive. You heard
about,
him.
but
Heard it first.
you'll just have to figure it out, man. You'll have to turn
100%.
on my notifications. Turn on my
Alright.
post notifications. You'll see first.
Yep. All right. This has been the end of the second podcast, and it's still scuffed. We're still learning. We're still improving every single day.
Yeah,
You already know the
this is
fucking
just the second
vibes.
week, So
It's
we've
yeah, it's the
improved
second
this
week.
much in 2 weeks. Imagine us in a year, Can't wait to see
100%.
it.
We're just gonna do this until we die, without a doubt.
For
Undisputable.
sure, for sure.
We're gonna be on episode 1,000. We're gonna be 40 years old, and we're gonna be like, damn, let's fucking
We're
go.
still gonna be calling kids shit. Can't wait.
100%, 100%. But yeah, this is the second episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.